Hello everybody, my name is Joe Guy and welcome back to the Adventure Zone. Here we are in Hightown. I do like this spot, and yeah, we don't have too much to, well, say before we kind of get started today, but what I did want to sort of bring up was, yes, I have indeed had a bit of an equipment change. Yeah, I can't believe it. It very nearly slipped my mind there. That would have been the elephant in the room for a little while. I've got the volcanic shield back on, and I've got, well, it's kind of a whole new set, because at the beginning of Act 3, and, oh hell. Somebody pointed this out, hang on, I'm gonna look them up. It was Ekaril, that was it. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but, well, what else do I gotta go on? Thank you very much for pointing out that at the beginning of Act 3, player characters are meant to receive 2 items. One dependent on you, well, thoroughly dependent on your class, one of which is the sword I'm currently rocking. Satarith. It is a sword which does fire damage as its like primary base damage. Apparently elemental swords are great because they bypass armor or something like that. And yeah, so let's just nip into the Codex very quickly to learn about it, because it did come with its own Codex entry, Satarith. And very simply, Kunari are a people of metaphors, and for them words have many meanings. Satarith, the name given by the Arishok to this axe, means that which upholds. It is the word for foundation, defender, and enforcer all at once. I mean, the description suits me very well. Interesting, by the way, that Kunari says people are people of metaphors. I suppose that's true, kind of thinking about it, but that's not how they present themselves all the time. Like, they're very direct, they appreciate honesty in that side of things, so metaphor in so much as like their culture, but not so much in terms of action. People of action. At least that's the impression kind of that I got. So yeah, I mean, have a look at it. I mean, it looks very familiar. We were held aloft by this sword on a few occasions, but it is spectacularly cool. And it does fire damage, and therefore, I've also equipped Volcano Shield again, because that gives me a buff to fire damage. No doubt, the Lord Bearing's Wall or whatever gives me better protection in general, but I'm just, I guess you could say min-maxing kind of, because going into this extra fire damage I think is really going to help my damage levels a lot. In addition to that, I see I've donned the Warden's Coif helmet since I've changed armor too, but the other piece of equipment that we were meant to get at the beginning of Act 3 has been basically a full body change, so I've got a lot to talk about. Is the Gauntlets of the Champion here. You're just meant, I've double checked, like I've triple checked, you're meant to receive these at the beginning of Act 3 and I just never did. I'm guessing because maybe I was in control of Aveline. You know, do you remember how my perspective shot over to Aveline when I'd finished the initial Act 3 cutscene? That may have had something to do with the bug, but that's a really unconfirmed suspicion. Apparently this bug where you don't receive the equipment is not very common. So yeah, either way, now I have this. Apparently it's part of the Gauntlets of the Champion set. It's significantly better gauntlets. So getting this in partnership with receiving this armor called Cuirass of the Centurion is which is a way better sort of suit of armor than the Stonehammer set. Basically means that I forewent that set bonus I was getting for the Stonehammer set, though I still have the Stonehammer boots. And now I have this back on, and there's Codex entries on both of these as well. So let's do the champions thing first. I think it's this. Okay, so is that right? Yeah. Mantle of the Champion, an honour unique to the Free Marches. Other terms of reverence suffer the stains of their holders, the lingering baggage of office and entitlement. But Champion is not an appointment that can be sought, it cannot be owned or willed, and the process by which it is bestowed is not argued through policy or guile. It is earned with blood and sweat and leadership in times of great turmoil. Always worthy, as their deeds are of true importance, a Champion is greeted not by debate, but by nods of reverence. The title was most recently granted in Tanterville 882 Blessed, and the resolution of the bloody expansion of Ivara. Their king, emboldened by the taking of Perundale and the quick yielding of Hazmal, thought the remainder of the Free March was an easy claim. He who became the champion, Caedar Vale of Vervain, did what Orlais had not. He stopped the nation in its tracks. There was blood and barter, but Tanterville is still free against all odds. There is the contradiction of the honour. Champion is not itself a sign of approval. He or she can be respected or feared, their coming dreaded as much as desired. All that is common is that they have an effect and lives are changed. Kirkwall now adds to the history of the title, a first for the city, on this 934 dragon. The Qunari are repelled by means respected or reviled, and it remains to be seen what follows for this Iain Hawke, the champion of Kirkwall. It's a mark of importance. I'm somebody important in the city, and I know I will continue to be, but it's interesting that there's no baggage associated with it, it's just respect. It gives me some, not official authority, but some recognition. I can start taking some steps, making some waves this way, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, the other thing was the Centurion's Cuirass. This is an entry I did read, but it's an interesting wee tale, so I thought I'd recount it for you guys. In the 435th year of the Tevinter Imperium, Archon Almadrius built a summer palace for himself near the Eyes of Nochin, or whatever. The palace was considered one of the greatest wonders of the world, and many of Almadrius' jealous rivals hatched plots to burn it to the ground. To protect his palace, the Archon stationed 100 soldiers on permanent guard. These centurions were sworn only to the service of the Archon himself, their oaths sealed with blood. The reign of Almadrius ended in violence, and his successor, Tidarion, converted the palace into a garrison for his troops fighting the insurrections all across the Imperium. Amidst the bedlam, the Centurions maintained their watch. They eventually fell in battle, but their oaths held, and the bodies rose again to take their posts. When Tidarion's reign came to an end, the Magistrates fought amongst themselves for 20 vicious years before they crowned a new Archon. And when Parthenius finally took the throne, he found that the palace and its guardians had vanished. Not a single stone remained in the Nochin countryside. Some say the Centurions, faithful to their oaths, carried the palace away brick by brick and rebuilt it in a distant land where it would be safe, waiting for an Archon to lay claim to it. Very interesting, and I'm wearing the cuirass of it now. I like it a lot. I do. I like this whole setup pretty well. I've obviously hidden the helmet again. There's something fictionally fitting about me not wearing my helmet everywhere as well, now that I am, well, now that I am so important. It befits me for my identity to be kind of known more or less wherever I go. So showing my face is fine in that case. Oh yes, there was one Codex entry, and I can't believe I almost bloody forgot again. Characters. Zevran. We never read this after our quest, so. Zevran Arani. We are in danger, friend. 2 of the 7 guildmasters are already in Zevran Arani's pocket, and the guildmaster of Rialto is dead. While no proof exists, we both know he was involved, whether he claims the deed or not. They should have released him when they had discovered he lived. Honour of the Anteman Crows be damned. What option do we have now? After centuries of unity that have led us to rule a nation from the shadows and have placed kings and queens in our pockets, we are being torn apart from within by a single elf who didn't even succeed in his mission to kill the so-called hero of Ferelden. The guildmasters dismissed Zevran's threat without considering just how many assassins were similarly disaffected. Too many of our numbers have been cheated out of their rightful ties, driven into hiding or intimidated into silence, and somehow Zevran is finding them all. You report that he is not in Antiva, but that isn't always the case. He appears in a city until our operatives find him and chase him out into Ravane or the Free Marches, and then we never hear from them again. We have both spoken to the remaining guildmasters, and they have denied us. They are blind. It makes me think maybe Zevran is right. Perhaps it is time for a change. He's making waves. There's no doubt about that. He's shaking this organization to its roots, and this organization is the power in Antiva. So we'll see what becomes of Zevran. I imagine. I doubt his tale is over. Well, now I take a breath after all that reading. What are we doing today? Well, we're picking up where we left off. I said I want to go to the bone pit so I can gather the ingredients for Anders' potion, so he can separate himself from justice. But we knew that Hubert here has a potential quest for us. Now, I don't know if it's just the lighting or whatever, but I don't know, is my gamma down or something? I hope not. I can always fix it in post if it's a problem, I guess.
Catastrophe has struck, partner. We are ruined. Ruined.
What have you done?
It's always something with this mine.
A cart came back from the bone pit, half wrecked, with a dozen mangled bodies. The horse pulling the cart was the only survivor, and it does not speak.
Wow.
Town full of rotten mages, and not one can get answers from a horse.
The horse doesn't speak. Maybe it's true traumatized. No, I don't think anybody can do that.
I'll check it out. You keep interrogating that horse.
I knew I could depend on you. Just like old times, partner.
What do we do between these years? I mean, we did think there was something there. Some smell, some presence. Spiders, dragons. Oh, look, there's the gallows down there. So that's fine. We'll go do that as well. Bone pit and companions. Both managed to find some Drakestone. Okay, I mean, I don't really see any reason to waste time aside from the fact that I don't have anybody with me. Let me go and grab a so-and-so. Who am I going to take with me today? I really got to work on Varric, honestly. I wonder if I can use a Maker's Sai with him. Because he's just so low health. I really need to... Do I have a sword for you?
Have you located any Canary blades?
Yep.
This is what I found.
If you find more, bring them to me.
Okay. So I've said no in the past to getting coin for it, and that's that, I guess. Which is fine. If they kept giving me the option, I maybe would have said yes that time, because I feel like I'm hurting a bit, even though I'm not doing too badly. I've got a decent set of equipment. I should be fine. Anyway, what am I doing? Oh, yes. Taking out a party. And I guess because Varric is kind of so low health, which is unfortunate, do you know what? The gamma really is sort of bothering me. It feels like everything's just a little bit darker. Let's see, can I turn that up just a little bit? Is that everything? Maybe that's a bit better. You know what, guys? I'm gonna take a second and just sort this out. Back with you in just a sec. Alright, guys, yeah, something had changed and the brightness has gone down. I knew it wasn't just me, so I've turned the gamma up. Hopefully. I think it looks fine.
Ah, you've returned.
Hi.
There's another letter waiting on your desk. At your leisure.
Thanks, Bodan. Let's just go. Weird. I don't know why that happened. I updated my graphics drivers and I guess that had something to do with it. So, you know, let's take this party. Just for the sake... I mean, whilst Varric's kind of out of action with just being at solo health, I find, having Sebastian around, using that as an excuse to take him on a couple more missions is maybe a good idea. Do you want Meryl for this? I don't really see why not. Let's head over to the Bone Pit.
We still need the Drakestone from the Bone Pit.
Focus, Anders. Dead bodies everywhere. Wow, wow, we actually may be ruined. So, yeah, this is where I came from last time. Something broke out here. What could it be? I think this is the route I took into the mine last time. But that looks blocked off. What could cause this much damage and not still be knocking around? Is it this way? Oh, may well be, you know. Oh, down in the pits of the Bone Pit. Wow. How exciting. Actually, that's it over there. Or is that the Drakestone? Hold on. Yeah, that's the Drakestone. Let's just run and grab that. So what would have happened if I'd come here without speaking to a bear?
Are you ready to go in?
Oh, no, not yet.
I want to look around first.
I'm with you.
So it's this whole thing. Alright, well, we should sort out this first, Anders. This feels a little bit more urgent, just in case there are folks still alive. Down here in the pits themselves. Always knew they would have rendered these bits for a reason. Ooh, this is kind of scary, actually. Oh! Oh, hell.